Next up on our list are Twinkies. Let's see if we can get some shade so you can see. Ooh. Alright, those are Twinkies. We're going to start off with some yellowish clay. Kind of, I don't know, this color yellow. It's almost white, but it's yellow. Take that, and you're going to want your Twinkies to be the same size and shape, preferably. But what I'm going to use to make them the same size, because a lot of people had trouble with my donuts, and they didn't have the, let me pull it down, this little tool that you could put the clay in and measure it. So you don't need that ever. I'm using a Kemper cutter, and I just went through and made Twinkies, several Twinkies, until I could figure out what size I needed. Any shape will work. It doesn't matter. As long as it cuts, any kind of cookie cutter, any kind of shape, as long as it cuts the size of the amount of dough, you know, Twinkie dough in this case, as you'll need, that's what really matters. And I'm even going to use a star to show you, because this happens to be a good size for Twinkies. And this is rolled out on a number 1. So it's going to change depending on your pasta machine, how thick your clay is rolled out, that kind of stuff. Just do what works for your Twinkies. So you take your amount of clay, and if you do them all with the same one, with the same thickness of clay, you'll ensure that all your Twinkies are the same size, which is great. Roll it up, get rid of all the little creases. Like that. And then you roll it out. I made that one too big, so I'm going to squeeze it. I'm trying to get the creases out, and then once it's a nice little ball, then I'm just going to take it and gently make it like a little worm. And then that's going to be my bottom. I'm sticking it to my glass tabletop, and I'm going to squish the edges so that it's the shape of a Twinkie. Once you have this one, take a texturer. You can use rolled up tin foil. Let me see how close I can get you. Yeah. You know, some days I really wish I had somebody to do lighting for me. Today's one of those days. I'm using my little peppercorn from my kitchen, my pepper shaker. My little peppercorn is going to be my texture. And unlike you, I can use it for all sorts of stuff. Don't do it like the hamburger where you just roll it over at one time. I want you to make tiny little circles, and that's going to give it a lot better texture for a Twinkie. You do it over, go over itself several times, and go around, and just be careful, and then you'll have the bottom that's nice and flat. Once you have that, I have one that's already done. Once you have that all done, get rid of your peppercorn, and you're going to take your pastel chalks. Here we go. Let me back you up. Reeve Soft Pastel Chalks, my favorite kind for this. And here's my old chalks here. I'm not using the white or the yellow, I'm using the ugly yellow, like I always end up doing, because that's, I guess, food color. A lot of color. A lot of food is colored with that, though. Let's see how close we can get. Now, because I already have my texture on there, I'm gonna take a paintbrush, my old chalk paintbrush, and I'm just gonna, can you see that? There you go. I'm just gonna go like that. I'm loading my paintbrush. That's all I'm doing. And then you gotta kind of hold your Twinkie down. It likes to run away. It knows you want to eat it. So start working on it like this. And you'll even want to carefully roll it over and paint, or you know, do the bottom a little bit, because it'll be too light if you don't. Once you do that, here's one I've already colored. Once you do that, you're gonna, if you want, well, here's one that I put the frosting on the bottom. I turned it over, and I took my needle tool, and let me move this one real quick. I took my needle tool and I dipped it in my icing, and there's a video, another video that I have that shows how to make the icing. All it is, excuse me, it's translucent liquid Sculpey or liquid Fimo and white clay, and you mix it together and it makes a nice squishy icing, and I just keep my icing on hand for whatever. So this is my filling, and I get it on the end of my needle tool, and then I like poke it in three spots. It's really hard to see because my lighting's so bad today. There's 3 spots of frosting though, so it looks like it's been the cream has been injected in, and that's on the bottom, and that's that. And then this one's actually already baked. It's hard. This one is not baked. If you want to make, this is the one I had before, if you want to make it look like someone's taken a bite out of it and then you can see the cream, what I'm using, you don't have to use this, you can just use a toothpick and work at it, but this is you don't have to cut it either. This is a 22 bullet shell. See? I killed a rat yesterday, so I have a couple of these. I'm just going to use it to make it look like and I'm not going to do it straight over the end because that's no fun. I'm going to make it look like somebody took a bite, and no one's teeth are that straight. So you'll kind of roughen up the edges just a little with a needle tool or something. Try not to lose your texture that you worked so hard on, and don't worry about this too much because you are going to put cream right on top of there. So grab your icing cream. Oh yeah, there you go. Come on, there you go. Grab that and put your cream in. Then it looks like it's coming out. And don't forget your little dots of cream. You would have the filling still. And then go and bake this little guy. Oh, I don't want to pick him up, but you're not in the view. There we go. Bake this little guy for, I don't know, 15 minutes. It depends on what kind of clay you have. You'll have to check your own type of clay. Bake this little guy, and then you will have your little guy with a bite taken out of him. You'll have a Twinkie. Here are the other Twinkies. Maybe he was really hungry and wants 2. There's your Twinkies.